Thanks for the memories. Warnings of more pain at the pump as the government's fuel discount comes to an end.
Going backwards, the housing market downturn spreads with monthly falls in Brisbane and Adelaide.
Former broadcaster Alan Jones to go on trial for charges of indecent assault today.
A wildfire tragedy. 2 people killed after firefighting helicopters collide mid-air in Greece.
And Australia tops the medal tally as the Commonwealth Games draws to a close. We'll get the last word from Glasgow.
Hello and a very warm welcome back to our show. On this Monday morning, it is the 3rd of August. I'm James Glenday.
And I'm Emma Rebellato, coming to you from the land of the Wurundjeri people. You're watching News Breakfast.
Now, millions of Australians are going to be paying more at the petrol pump from this week, with the temporary discount to fuel excise ending overnight. Nationally, petrol prices are sitting at just under the $2 a litre mark. It is expected to tick up at least 16 cents over the coming days as the end of the discount trickles through.
The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring. Stephanie Ferrier is following developments from Melbourne. Steph, good morning. How are prices looking at the moment?
All right, it is time for the weather. Here's Nate.
Also, do you like what I've done with the place while you were gone on Friday?
All you, huh?
Yeah, a bit of a lick of fresh paint. Morning, team. Chilly again for much of the country this morning, particularly through the eastern interior, but we've mostly got a fine day until we look to the south. So Brisbane, I'll take you through all the details a little later in the hour.
You can see your future where I'm better than I am. Never needs a reason, but it always has a plan. Don't lose it when it comes, when it goes. Just put it on a shower. Like an ocean shadow.
And that is the sound of Salty, a pop artist from Sydney, and Triple J's unearthed feature artist of the week. We bring you that, of course, thanks to our ongoing friendship with Triple J. We love those guys.
We certainly do. Look, stick around. We have got Australian actor Anthony LaPaglia on the show. He's back in Australia for another run of Death of a Salesman. He, of course, is playing Will Lohman again. Last time, he had absolute rave reviews for his performance. So he's going to do, there's a run of shows in Melbourne and then it heads to Brisbane. So stick around because Anthony is going to be joining us on the couch later. In other news this morning, citizen scientists in South Australia are dreading what is suspected to be a major escalation in the country's outbreak of H5 bird flu. More than 80 dead and sick seabirds were found on a South Australian island Friday night. Isabella Carboni joins us now from Adelaide. Izzy, good morning. Do we know anything more at this stage? I've got to say, some of those highlights that she mentioned, and also Jess Hull, you cannot wipe the smile off her face no matter what happens. She always goes up to athletes to congratulate them. She's just so happy all the time. So wonderful to see her success at the Games too.
There you go. All right, let's get you some weather. Here's Nate.
Did you end up actually catching any of the games, James? Because I know last week you were saying you hadn't watched any at all.
I watched a tiny bit on Saturday night. Yep, about 15 minutes with my daughter. She's very into gymnastics, so we had to catch some of the gymnastics.
Very good. Australia, of course, just showing how amazing we are on the world stage. I don't think we need another Commonwealth Games. I reckon we just say we've done it.
It's nice to wake up and know that we're like winning, you know? Just sort of like feel safe and, you know, comfortable.
It certainly does. Hey, I've got some winners today, weather-wise, in the west, where we're desperate for a bit of rain right now. We've had such a dry month or so. Water storages are down on both sides of the country in the south. For Darwin, staying mostly sunny, getting to 31.
Thank you for that, Nate. And we are headed to Darwin in a couple of weeks, Emma. I'm excited. I'm going to pack my swimmers. We are touring the country as part of the ABC's Your Say campaign. This week, we're going to Mount Isa, and we might have made our visit coincide with a rodeo, certain event going on. A certain big event that's going to draw quite a lot of people to Mount Isa, so I hope you can join us at the end of the week for that one. However, today, stick around because still ahead on the program this morning, Emmy, Golden Globe and Tony Award winner Anthony LaPaglia will join us on the couch.
He's in Melbourne for the first of 2 very limited seasons of the stage show Death of a Salesman.
Looking forward to that. Let's take a look at our top stories for you this hour. And fuel prices are expected to rise this week, with the temporary discount to the fuel excise ending overnight. Motorists can expect a rise of about 16 cents at the bowser over the coming days, possibly weeks. The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring.
The downturn in the housing market is spreading across the country, with Brisbane and Adelaide both recording a second consecutive month of decline. National property prices fell 0.7% in July, the largest single monthly decline since December 2022.
An expert from Australia's largest bird conservation charity says the country is entering the next phase of the H5 bird flu outbreak. South Australian authorities are investigating if the disease is responsible for a mass mortality event after more than 80 sick or dead birds were found off an island in the state's southeast. BirdLife Australia Senior Advisor Sean Dooley says local transmission among abundant native species may lead to more large outbreaks.
Former radio host Alan Jones goes on trial today, accused of indecently assaulting and sexually touching 6 men over a 17-year period. More than 70 witnesses are expected to be called in the judge-only trial. Mr Jones has denied the allegations.
Let's head to Perth now, because the city and the state might have been once considered an affordable place to buy in, but after years of booming growth, first home buyers are struggling to get their feet in the door. Experts say supply remains the major problem, with some analysts urging people to hold off from buying for about 12 months. Time now for a quick check of our headlines for you this morning. And fuel prices are expected to rise by at least 16 cents this week after the discount to the fuel excise expired overnight.
The housing market downturn is no longer confined to Sydney and Melbourne, with Brisbane and Adelaide both recording a second month of decline.
Former radio host Alan Jones goes on trial in Sydney today, accused of indecent assault and sexual touching.
And stick around, next hour we're going to be joined by the Assistant Treasurer Daniel Molino.
Now, one of our other top stories is the situation regarding bird flu, particularly what's been happening in South Australia. Dr. Diana Barker is from the Australian Veterinary Association, and she joins us now in the studio. Diana, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we've heard about this mass mortality event on an island off South Australia. We don't know what's caused it. About 80 birds appear to be dead or dying. How likely is this going to be, bird flu?
OK, Nate is now here with the latest on the weather.
I was just having a look. Don't hate me.
Oh, here we go.
Launceston right now.
Here we go.
You might remember how you were a little bit chilly. It's 12 degrees.
What?
At the moment. It feels like 7.3. Yeah, we've got a bit of warmth going on in the southeast at the moment that you just managed to avoid.
A public service announcement. A very big thank you to everyone who wrote in and asked about our welfare as well. I've never had quite so many people say that we looked cold.
But it was great being
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
This time of year, though, when it gets a little warm, it means you've got a little bit of wet weather to come as well. Get into the maps. We'll just check the capitals for you. And it's going to be...
Thank you, Nate. We've been asking you about things that last the test of time. Paulie says, I have jeans from 1986 and I still wear them today.
There you go.
That's some effort.
That is an effort. I can't believe they're not ripped. Maybe that's the trend. Brendan says his sons have had the same lunchbox all through primary and secondary school. Brendan, what is your secret? I open a cupboard in my kitchen and all just lunchboxes fall out. Like, we don't have enough space to keep them all.
Kim says, I have a small freezer that survived 21 years and 3 moves.
There you go. Keep the comments coming in. We want to hear from you. What lasts? What is worth investing in? Nate, some good news for you. Your AFL team is still on top of the ladder, and we are headed in that direction in a couple of weeks' time.
I cannot wait. Calm, purple.
There you go.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Thanks for the memories. Warnings of more pain at the pump as the government's fuel discount comes to an end.
Going backwards, the housing market downturn spreads with monthly falls in Brisbane and Adelaide.
Former broadcaster Alan Jones to go on trial for charges of indecent assault today.
Warnings to brace for more bird flu cases after a mass mortality event that could have been caused by the deadly disease.
We have a high index of suspicion. We should get confirmation either today or tomorrow.
Wildfire tragedy, 2 people killed after firefighting helicopters collide mid-air in Greece.
And Australia tops the medal tally as the Commonwealth Games draws to a close. We'll bring you the last word from Glasgow. Hello and a very happy Monday to you wherever you're watching us from. You are watching News Breakfast. It is always lovely to have your company. Now, millions of Australians will be paying more at the petrol pump this week with the temporary discount to fuel excise ending overnight. Nationally, petrol prices are sitting just under the $2 a litre mark. It is expected to tick up at least 16 cents over the coming days as the end of the discount trickles through.
The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring. Stephanie Ferrier is following developments from Melbourne. Steph, good morning. How are prices looking at the moment?
All right, it is time for your Monday morning weather. Here's Nate.
Morning, team. It's actually not all that chilly in the southeast at the moment, but we've still got some widespread frosts through eastern Australia. The recovery's not too bad, though. Queensland, in Brisbane, you're getting to 22 degrees. I'll take you through all the details a little later in the hour.
You can see your future where I'm better than I am. Never need a reason, but it always has a plan. Don't lose it when it comes, when it goes. Just put it on a shower. Like an ocean.
And you can use that QR code in the corner of your screen to hear more of the sound of Salty, a pop artist from Sydney, and Triple J unearths feature artist of the week. I like that sound for our Monday.
Yeah,
Eases us
nice.
in.
It certainly does. Stick around. We're going to be joined by award-winning actor Anthony LaPaglia soon. He's back in Australia for another run of Death of a Salesman. Of course, he's playing Will Lohman again. He played Will Lohman in Australia a couple of years ago to great acclaim, rave reviews. He's resuming the role and he's going to join us on the couch to talk all about it.
I'm excited about that. I like Anthony LaPaglia.
Yeah, me too. Look, citizen scientists in South Australia are dreading what is suspected to be a major escalation in the country's outbreak of H5 bird flu. More than 80 dead and sick seabirds were found on a South Australian island Friday night. Isabella Carboni joins us now from Adelaide. Isabella, do we know anything more at this stage about that?
Let's get you some weather now. Here's Nate.
Morning, team. We've got quite a lot to keep an eye on in the outlook today. A little bit of wet weather on both sides of the country for the southeast, getting to 31.
Thanks, Nate. Stick around because still ahead on the program this morning, Emmy, Golden Globe and Tony Award winner Anthony LaPaglia will join us here on the couch. He's in Melbourne for the first of 2 very limited seasons of the stage show Death of a Salesman, so stick around.
Looking forward to that and looking forward to getting up to Darwin. It is one of the stops on our tour of the country as part of the ABC's Your Say campaign. It was lovely to get so much feedback after our telecast in Launceston on Friday morning, which was a bit fresh. Thank you for the welfare checks. We're going to Mount Isa this week. I do hope some of you will join us for that. Let's take a look at what's making news for you this morning. And fuel prices are expected to rise this week with the temporary discount to the fuel excise ending overnight. Motorists can expect a rise of at least 16 cents at the Bowser in the coming days. The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring.
The downturn in the housing market is spreading across the country, with Brisbane and Adelaide both recording a second consecutive month of decline. National property prices fell 0.7% in July, the largest single monthly decline since December 2022.
An expert from Australia's largest bird conservation charity says the country is entering the next phase of the H5 bird flu outbreak. South Australian authorities are investigating if the disease is responsible for a mass mortality event after more than 80 sick or dead birds were found off an island in the state's southeast. BirdLife Australia Senior Advisor Sean Dooley says local transmission among abundant native species may lead to more large outbreaks.
Former radio host Alan Jones goes on trial today accused of indecently assaulting and sexually touching 6 men over a 17-year period. More than 70 witnesses are expected to be called in the judge-only trial. Mr Jones has denied the allegations.
And stay tuned for our broadcast from Mount Isa. Are you going to get on a bull? Yeah, maybe a fake one? No?
No, James.
No? Yeah.
Are you?
I can see it in the rundown.
Are you?
Yeah, well, let's see where we end up with that. Now, back to the day's news, because the Albanese government has today unveiled changes to its news bargaining incentive, legislation that aims to force tech giants to strike financial deals with Australian news publishers. The Federal Assistant Treasurer is Daniel Molino, and he joins us now. Daniel, welcome back to the program. All right, it is time for our regular health checkup. And as I struggle not to cough, I can tell you that asthma affects millions of people worldwide, including 2.8 million people right here in Australia, and I am one of them. About 1 in 10 of those are dealing with a severe form of the respiratory condition, but there's hope that a new treatment could make a difference for those most affected. To tell us more, we're joined by paediatrician Dr. Sarah Arachi, friend of the show. Lovely to see you back.
Sarah.
Lovely to see you, Vo.
So tell us again, what is asthma? How is it currently treated?
Yeah.
Time now for a quick check of this morning's headlines. And the housing market downturn is no longer confined to Sydney and Melbourne, with Brisbane and Adelaide both recording a second month of decline.
Fuel prices are expected to rise by at least 16 cents this week after the discount to the fuel excise expired overnight.
Former radio host Alan Jones goes on trial in Sydney today, accused of indecent assault and sexual touching.
And stick around, we're going to be catching up with the one, the only Anthony LaPaglia. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. The 2026 Garma Festival is wrapping up in northeast Arnhem Land, finishing with a community open day today. Our reporter Tani Jash is there and filed this report. OK, let's get you some sport news now. And in breaking news, New South Wales State of Origin coach Laurie Daly has officially announced he is stepping down from the role. So bright and colourful. OK, Nate is now here with the weather.
Did you ever own one of those?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to. Because those colours, they just take you exactly...
I could see you with a big platypus jumper or something like that.
Heck, yes. Actually, later on in the week, we're going to be talking about rakalis. You know, the water rats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I reckon a water rat on a jumper. Oh, that'd be
All
great.
yours, Nate.
There you go.
Yeah.
All yours.
Someone's going to make you one now.
Yeah, stand by. You'll need some jumpers if you're in the eastern interior this morning because it is chilly, but relatively mild for maximums for most of the country. Take a look at the maps. We'll start with the capitals, and if you're in Brisbane today, again by the time I finish it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been asking you about things that last. Megan says, my mum's clothes dryer turns 50 this year and is going strong.
They don't make them like they used to.
I wonder how much power that must use. Laurie has sent in this lovely photo of his 1977 Scoop, and I can confirm that Laurie still uses that bat, playing for the mighty Canberra City Cricket Club in the beating heart of the nation.
Drew says, my leather jacket from 1992 still fits and looks great. Well, all the 90s are back.
Yeah, and
back to
Kez
fashion.
has a four-wheel drive that's 32 years old and has 670,000 kilometres on it. I wonder how many trips around Australia that is.
Yes, quite a few. We've been asking you things that last, things that have stood the test of time. The reason is because there is a car, a four-wheel drive, that's going up for sale in Victoria, and it has almost 1 million kilometres on the clock.
It's a good
Not a bad
isn't it?
effort.
And a reminder that we are on tour at the moment. Not every day, but at the end of every week we are heading to a new place. We were in Launceston, we were in Newcastle. This week we're headed to Mount Isa, and I cannot wait. I've never been to the Mount Isa Rodeo. Have you?
No, absolutely
Are you
not.
going to get involved? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Are we going to see James?
Yes. Emma wants to ride a mechanical bull. It's going to boost our rating. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Don't let him stitch
Might not happen.
Nope,
but do hope you'll
understand
join us for that. We'll be there on Friday, and we're going to be back in just a moment. This morning, tanks for the memories, warnings of more pain at the pump as the government's fuel discount comes to an end.
Was meant to help people with the worst of the impacts of that crisis, but that it would always at some point come off.
Going backwards, the housing market downturn spreads with monthly falls in Brisbane and Adelaide.
Former broadcaster Alan Jones to go on trial for charges of indecent assault later today.
Warnings to brace for more bird flu cases after a mass mortality event that could have been caused by the deadly disease.
We have a high index of suspicion. We should get confirmation either today or tomorrow.
Overseas, a wildfire tragedy. 2 people killed after firefighting helicopters collide mid-air in Greece.
Laurie Daly steps down as coach of the New South Wales Blues.
And Australia tops the medal tally as the Commonwealth Games draws to a close. Hello and happy Monday and welcome back to our show. You're of course watching News Breakfast. It is always lovely to have your company. Now, millions of Australians are going to be paying more at the petrol pump from this week with the temporary discount to fuel excise ending overnight. Nationally, petrol prices are sitting just under the $2 a litre mark. It is expected to tick up by about 16 cents over the coming days as the end of the discount starts to trickle through.
The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring. Stephanie Ferrier is following developments from Melbourne. Steph, good morning. How are prices looking at the moment?
Let's get you some weather. Here's Nate.
Talk about New South Wales. Bit of wet weather in the south of that state and through the southeast of the country today. None for Brisbane, you're getting to 22 there. But then after that, we've got some showers developing for Sydney, 23. Canberra could see a couple of drops, not a heck of a lot in it though. Take you through the details later in the hour.
Time to get you some finance now.
And we are joined by David Bassanese, Chief Economist at Beta Shares. G'day, David.
Good to be with you.
Figures out today show a 0.7% decline in national house prices. So how much further can this go?
I find that really refreshing to hear from people who are using AI for good. I mean, we hear all these stories about AI using for spam, to hack into accounts for, things that we really don't need. Yeah, AI slop, ripping off authors, but it can be used for good. There you go.
OK, let's bring you some sport now. And in breaking news, New South Wales State of Origin coach Laurie Daly has officially announced he's stepping down from the role.
Painful. Well, it is now time to bring you another story from one of the winners of the ABC's Haywire competition for young Australians living in rural, regional and remote communities. And today we hear from Tassie teenager Hugo from Moorville. He is still too young to drive, Emma. He doesn't have a driver's licence, but he's not letting that stop him from competing in a local hill climb. Let's take a look. Now, we're going to get you a check of our headlines this hour, and fuel prices are expected to rise this week with the temporary discount to the fuel excise ending overnight. Motorists can expect a rise of at least 16 cents at the Bowser in the coming days. The Federal Treasurer has put service stations and suppliers on notice over price gouging, asking the consumer watchdog to step up its monitoring.
The downturn in the housing market is spreading across the country, with Brisbane and Adelaide both recording a second consecutive month of decline. National property prices fell 0.7% in July, the largest single monthly decline since December 2022.
An expert from Australia's largest bird conservation charity says the country is entering the next phase of the H5 bird flu outbreak. South Australian authorities are investigating if the disease is responsible for a mass mortality event after more than 80 sick or dead birds were found off an island in the state's southeast. BirdLife Australia senior advisor Sean Dooley says local transmission among abundant native species may lead to more large outbreaks.
2 people have been killed after 2 Australian-owned firefighting helicopters collided mid-air while battling wildfires in Greece. Authorities say a Greek and a Danish national died, while 2 crew members survived. In a statement, Australian helicopter operator McDermott Aviation expressed its condolences for the 2 firefighters who died and says it's closely working with the relevant authorities and will continue to assist as they undertake their investigation into the incident.
Former radio host Alan Jones goes on trial today, accused of indecently assaulting and sexually touching 6 men over a 17-year period. More than 70 witnesses are expected to be called in the judge-only trial. Mr Jones has denied the allegations. Now, as we heard earlier in the program, the Albanese government is finalising its new laws which attempt to force tech companies to strike deals with media organisations for using their news. Our political reporter Sarah Tomevska is at Parliament House in Canberra, of course. Sarah, good morning. There have been a few changes to Labor's initial legislation. Take us through them.
Well, we are very glad you are here for Death of a Salesman in Melbourne and also next in Brisbane too. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, let's head over to Nate now, who has another special guest.
I'll leave you a glass.
Thank you.
We've got some really cool stuff to talk about because some of the nation's best and brightest have been named as finalists for this year's Eureka Prize Science Awards. And the annual event recognises outstanding homegrown scientists as Anthony tries not to choke on his way out of the studio. Scientists, innovators, communicators, all up for prizes, including First Nations astrophysicist Dr. Kirsten Banks, who inspires millions online to look to the skies. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look to my right. Hello, welcome back.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, what's a Eureka Prize? Why does it matter? Hey, congratulations.
Thank
Kirsten.
you.
And let's not leave it so long until you're back at the Science Monday desk.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
Done. I might even say Eureka team. Eureka.
Thank you, Nate. Well, let's get you some sport now because after 10 days of competition, the Commonwealth Games have drawn to a close. ABC Sport's Jessica Stewart reports from Glasgow. Jessica Stewart there did such a great job over the Com Games, along with her camera operator, Shay Chorley. Nate is now here with the weather.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
Yeah,
hey?
isn't it just?
You get to go and just watch the whole thing unfold in front of you. I'm keeping a close eye weather-wise on some falls for the south of the country. Take a look at the maps. If you're in Brisbane, it's going to be a glorious day, getting to 22 degrees. Yes,
good idea, James.
I'm here for it.
We are coming for you, Darwin, in a couple of weeks. First, we are headed to Mount Isa. Then we're going to duck over to South Australia. We are on tour as part of the ABC's Your Say campaign. I do hope you will join us when we come to a town near you. Now, we've been asking you this morning about things that have lasted a really, really long time. Claire's written in to say she's had the same ironing board for 50 years. Well, ironing boards haven't really changed a lot, have they?
No. Jennifer says, my feather quilt from my 21st birthday is still warm 44 years later.
Wow. There you go. That is impressive. Kerry says her mum's sewing machine's almost 80 years old and doesn't miss a stitch.
Oh, Dan says my great-great-grandfather's axe is more than 100 years old.
Not sure there's been a huge amount of change in axe technology either. And Kevin says his 42-year-old guitar gets better with time. That's interesting. Some instruments do get a lot better with age, as the wood ages and things like that.
The sound can change.
Sound can change slightly as well. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has been in touch. Some things, they just don't build them like they used to, do they?
Well, probably not. We had someone say that the dryer lasted 50 years. They've still got it, which is incredible.
That never happens anymore.
Not anymore.
White goods, you got a couple of years.
Yeah, you're lucky. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you then.
Happy Monday.